This video is about ordinances and municipal codes. Ordinances are the legal enactments of local jurisdictions, such as cities and towns. They are passed by their legislative bodies, the city council, the county commissioners, or a board of supervisors. Ordinances are to municipalities what session laws are to the state and federal governments. Municipal codes are codifications of those ordinances. They generally contain only the ordinances enforceable at the time of publication and are arranged by subject. Many municipalities are publishing their municipal codes online now, so that's a good place to check. And there are also some databases that list multiple municipal codes. So we're going to be looking at some of those sources online today. The first place we're going to look is Lexis, and it's available on lexis.com as well as Lexis Advanced. And we're going to look at lexis.com. To find it on Lexis Advanced, you could use Browse Sources and put in your state and then municipal codes to click into it. So let's start with Lexis. So we're going to go in like we did for the 50 state surveys, legislation and politics, US and UK, view more. And we're going to pick municipal codes. These are organized by state, so we can look at Massachusetts. And if we want to know which cities and towns are covered, we can click on the little I. And this gives us a list of the different cities and towns, such as Brockton, Fall River, Salem, Revere, Peabody. We're going to do a quick terms and connector search here for liquor and dance. So if you had a client in Peabody, for example, who was interested in opening a dance club and wanted to know if they could serve liquor, this Peabody Code of Ordinances section 528 would be on point. And this has to do with dance halls, and if we scroll down you can see the ordinance itself is very short. There's a historical note to when the ordinance was first passed, and there are a few cross-references. So it basically says you can't serve liquor in a dance hall unless you have a alcoholic beverage, a license to sell alcoholic beverages. So let's do a quick review of browsing sources on Lexis Advanced to get to a particular source. So you click the Browse Sources tab, and then you can type in your search box. Mine's already at Massachusetts Municipal Codes, but if you start typing, the database will pop up and you can click on it. And you can look at the source, add it to your search box, or look at the table of contents. The next source we're going to look at is called MuniCode, and it's a database that has some coverage again of city and town municipal codes. Not everything, but there's a number of sources here. So this is the home page for MuniCode. We're going to click Browse the Library. And then we can use the drop-down menu, or we can click into the state that we're interested in. Let's try Massachusetts again. And you can see there's a lot of similar similar cities: Peabody, Brockton, Fall River, New Bedford, Salem, Somerville. And if we wanted to look at Peabody again, we could click into Peabody, go to the Peabody Code of Ordinances, and here we can see the charter as well as all the sections of the code of the city of Peabody. So we could click in by section, or we can run a search. So we could see section 21 has to do with the date of the official election in Peabody. And this has an editor's note which tells us when it was adopted. The final source that we're going to look at today is American Legal Publishing. It's another source, but there's some different coverage here, and you'll see that in a minute. So again, when we're in American Legal Publishing, we can click into the state or use the drop-down menu. At the risk of being boring, I'm going to look at Massachusetts again. And you can see that the coverage here includes some different cities. Only two, Boston and Watertown, but of course Boston's an important city ordinances to have, the Code of Ordinances. When this opens, you'll see the setup is similar to Muni Code. We can look at the table of contents, all the different chapters, or we can run a search, a quick search or an advanced search are our options here. So I'm going to take us down. We're going to look at this chapter here that deals with schools. And let's see, we'll look at 19-2, salary of school committee members. And I don't know if you can see this on your smaller screen, but it says their salary is $7,500 a year. That's their stipend. And again, we have a note as to when the ordinance first appeared. So those were some basic tips on finding municipal codes. One of the first places you might look are the city, town, or county website. If you don't find them on any of these online sources, you might have to go to the town hall or the clerk's office to actually look at the print copy of the municipal codes. And depending on how up to date the code is that you're looking at online, you might also need to call to make sure there's been no updates. So the types of issues that people look at are liquor licenses, that example that we looked at, and zoning issues very commonly dealt with in municipal ordinances. If you have any questions on this lesson, please post them on our Piazza website.